enjoyed it. So we're gonna go with it. A couple of things about this morning's event. It is streamed, so make sure that you behave accordingly. And that link should be up on the school website for parents and for relatives and such. Just a general welcome that to all of you. It's great to see so many people out here in the morning. This awards we used to have a really nice kind of stuffy event in the evenings, and we went away from it because what we found was it was just really for the award winners, and what we wanted to make sure that it was more of a community, and you've supported each other all year, so it's important that you celebrate each other at this point too. So it's great to see so many people out here. First of all, we're going to mention some of our supporters. Very first, out in that window right now, you see Mr. Keller, Yokobori, and Miss Davis and their crew. They're putting on, they were here crazy early this morning. So how about a big hand for our culinary crew? Thank you. And then we're really lucky here in Lord Selkirk. I have conversations all the time with teachers across the province, and I hear a lot of horror stories about how difficult they make it for their athletes and for their coaches. And Lord Selkirk School Division, you're really lucky. We take a lot of things for granted at Lord Selkirk. Right from Mr. Long, usually when I call Mr. Long and I say, hey, Mr. Long, I've got an idea, we got a team, or whatever, and his response more often than not is, great idea, go Royals. And that makes us feel really good. All of these people sitting here, they're a huge group of alumni and community people and teachers, and it's not just a phys ed department. This building is too big, our athletic program is too big just for phys ed people. I mean, I think we've got the entire math department represented here. Go math, yes. So we really appreciate all of you and when you come back and help us out. All of the staff that make it easy. One of the things I've heard more often than not is, when are these kids ever in class in May? They're never in class. Well, they make it work for you, and maybe they grit their teeth a little bit, but they make it work for you. The record for all the articles and the coverage that we get. Mr. McIntosh, who I go to every year and I just say, help, and he makes this thing happen. He gets the IT department, the Lord Selkirk IT department involved, and he takes our pictures for us. So thanks, Mr. McIntosh. All the phys ed classes that help set up, even Miss Anderson's ISYP crew was in here taping up banners yesterday. They helped decorate. And this is for the streaming piece. For all you friends and family, you got your kids to early morning practices and pick them up after late night games. Good job, thank you. It's going to pay off down the road. The procedures today is going to be pretty simple. We're going to keep it short and sweet. We got 45 awards to present in about an hour and a half, and we can do it. We're going to try and run you through real quick, and there's going to be, we're going to keep it moving. So a coach is going to be up at the front. They're going to tell you a little bit about their team and their season, but it's really all about the MVP today. You guys know what you did for your season. We're going to have that person come to the front to receive their MVP plaque, a nice handshake, maybe a wave to the camera, and then back there to Mr. McIntosh, and he's going to take a keeper photo for us. Then you can return to your seat. Over on the side, you'll notice a whole bunch of banners that were this morning lying on the floor when we came in. So huge thanks to Ms. Michaelewski and Mr. McIntosh. So they're back up now. All of these banners, I don't want to just stick them in the basement. So if you want one of these banners, you can you can walk away with one of these banners. So over on the side table is little slips of paper, little sticky notes. If you want to put your name, what banner you want, and a cell phone number that I can text you at, we're going to do a draw later on this week or early next week. So if you want one of these banners with your name on it, make that happen. All right, let's get started with our awards, and I can't think of a better place to start than with Mrs. Gurney and the Junior Varsity Boys Cross Country Award.
Okay. Our cross-country JV boys MVP truly takes great pleasure in running. He was always at practice, ready to go, and could usually be found out front, pushing the pace and himself. His hard work and dedication paid off with some solid performances at every race. We often talk about somebody bleeding for a cause. This athlete took it a little too literal, and he bled for his team at every single race. His nose, his knee, you name it, it bled. It is my pleasure to call up Quinn Fife.
Our junior girls cross-country MVP started the season just outside of the KPAC top 10 and then quickly moved up the ranks in her next two races. She displayed dedication in her training and tenacity in her racing. This German import was our top placing royal at an extremely challenging hilly provincial course in Mississippi this year. She brings enthusiasm for each workout and is constantly seeking feedback in order to improve. This year's JV Girls Cross Country MVP is Carolyn Roth. I'll be with you in a sec, Carolyn. I got to present one more award. Varsity boys. Despite not competing in cross country in his grade 10 or 11 year, our varsity boys cross country MVP made an immediate impact in his very first cross country race, grabbing second place. He continued to impress, recording 2 more top 3 finishes in his next races. He led our Royals varsity boys to a third place provincial final finish at the provincials with an eye-opening top 10 finish. That was out of 186 athletes. He trained with intensity and is able to push past the discomfort when the starter's pistol fires. To see him run, there's little doubt which sport developed that big reserve of cardio. Cycling's loss is running's gain. Next year, he's been invited to continue his running with the U of M Bison's cross-country team. Whether on his bike or on his feet, the Royals wish happy trails to our cross-country MVP, Kyle Zorniak.
And now for the cross-country varsity female MVP. Our female cross-country MVP is truly one of a kind. And if you don't believe me, just ask her. With her own unique way of being a team leader, an encourager and cheerleader, and with her own sense of realism, or was it her way of self-ostracizing, we've seen this athlete improve vastly over the years, finishing as one of the top Royals finishers in the provincials this year on the tough slopes of Mississippi, proving she belongs. We're proud to award the cross-country female MVP to Sydney Osterman.
Okay, on to volleyball. I'm speaking in place for Ryan Penner for the JV boys team. So I've got a little speech from him. This year, the junior varsity boys were a talented group of multi-sport athletes. What this group lacked in experience, they made up for with hard work. Although we struggled to close out the important games necessary to advance deep into tournaments or crack the provincial top 10 list, this team was highly competitive in a very strong year of junior varsity boys teams. This team showed much improvement this year and gained a lot of experience. I wish all our players the best of luck in their future volleyball pursuits. Our MVP this season was our most consistent player, both offensively and defensively. He is a team-first guy that did everything that was asked of him. He is a very coachable individual, works hard every practice, and has a great attitude. I've enjoyed coaching him and see huge potential in his volleyball future. JV Boys MVP is Colby Kurbis.
All right, good morning, everyone. I had the pleasure of coaching the JV girls this past fall. We had a lot of success in K-Pac where we only lost one game during the regular season. We had a very exciting win in the K-Pac semis, but sadly fell short in the finals. A huge thank you to the athletes because it was amazing to have a season with absolutely zero drama. I need to thank my assistant coaches for sticking by my side for another season, Ms. Bulaka for running the show behind the scenes, and Mr. Gurney for the constant support to outside coaches. This year, our MVP was an extremely talented athlete who is very well respected by her teammates. She leads on the court with her communication, passion, and tenacity. I have never had so many coaches approach me throughout a single season to tell me how strong of a player she was. She's a threat offensively, her defense is solid, and she can serve a team off the court. I adore everything about this athlete, but my favorite part is watching her celebrate after a big point. This year's MVP is the one and only Paige Whiteside.
All right, good morning, everyone. We are here on behalf of the varsity boys volleyball team. Mark, unfortunately, could not be here. But this year's MVP goes to a player with a love of volleyball. His joy and boundless energy in playing the game was welcomed on the court. He had a way of bringing the boys together despite the outcome of the game and always had a positive attitude even when things were not going our way. This player came to play every game and was the most consistent player on the court. His passing and attacking were relied upon on many occasions to keep us in the hunt for a win. We are excited to have another year with this player and look forward to his leadership next season. This year's Varsity Boys Volleyball MVP goes to Max Yaley.
Good morning, everyone. This year's varsity girls volleyball team proved themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. We went undefeated in K-Pac league play before winning the K-Pac final. We made all but one tournament final this season, winning two. But without question, the highlight of our season was this provincial banner that you see hanging behind us here, which we narrowly missed the championship banner by 2 points, losing 15-13 in the fifth. Really close.
Things up here.
Yeah.
Old wounds.
That's right. Just a really quick note that this year's team was led by just an unrivaled group of grade 12 athletes. So just special congratulations to our graduating players, Maddie, Carly, Paige, Nevaeh, and Megan. This year's MVP, as usual, was a difficult decision. We fielded a very deep team with some of the best players in the province at each position. But in the end, our most valuable player was an athlete who led us statistically in both passing percentage and kills. She was recognized at the end of the varsity season as a grad all-star and was named to the All-Manitoba team. After spending 3 years playing varsity volleyball with us, she'll continue her volleyball career at Lakehead University. It gives us great pleasure to award the varsity girls' most valuable player to Megan Carpenter.
Good morning. My name is Riley Goodbranson. I was the coach of the JV boys basketball team this last year. I was lucky enough to coach a really talented group of young men, and we had many candidates for the award, and it was not an easy decision. With that being said, our coaching staff came to a unanimous decision that our most deserving candidate was Max Ojala. In addition to his tenacity on defense and on the boards, Max played a different position this year that he was not necessarily comfortable with and absolutely excelled in it. On top of his very impactful play on the court, where he really excelled was his leadership and his ability to be a good leader. Max really exemplified, all the values that we're looking to promote in our program, and I'm really excited to see where this young man's career goes going forward. Unfortunately, Max was not able to make it here tonight, or this morning, So I'll be hanging on to this. So, way to go, Max.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Danielle Halson, and I coached alongside Miss Hildebrand this year for JV girls basketball. The JV girls had a great season and grew as a team on and off the court. The MVP for the JV girls not only showed great progress in practice, but also excelled in games, being a strong defender on the court. She showed up and worked hard during every game and practice and was a leader who supported her teammates whenever she could. She was someone who was always willing to put in extra work, and as our team captain, was always ready for whatever was thrown her way. The JV girls MVP is Delaney Kitely.
I'd just like to thank a couple of people quickly before I give out my award. My varsity boys team, I'm obviously the head coach, but I have fantastic assistants in Mr. Blake Ham and Kurt Fay, who's not here this morning, who it really cannot be done without. The outside help we get is tremendous. Thank you very much, guys. Our varsity season went very well. We had a couple of exciting tournaments, reached a couple of tournament finals that were noteworthy. I think the biggest thing that I'll take away from this season is the big culture change. We have 9 players moving on from varsity basketball this year, so that'll be a big hole to fill next year. Coach Riley was up here saying we got a good group of JVs coming in, so the continuity will continue, but it's going to leave a big hole in the gym at noon hour, and just a bunch of guys we spent a lot of time with. As far as our coaches award here that I'd like to give out, again, difficult. You have a lot of players, a lot of ones graduating. I kind of looked at the performer I wanted to recognize was really my most consistent one all year. When other coaches plan to play our team or they look at our team at a tournament, they're probably the person he's queuing in on. And despite that, he was able to have a very consistent performance all year. He was an all-star at the Brandon Invitational Tournament, at the Winnipeg Invitational Tournament at Tech Voc, and at our tournament here at home. So he had lots of individual accolades, was a very consistent performer all year, and we're going to miss him dearly. Could I get up Justin Cabaneros, please?
All right. Good morning, everyone. So I'm Miss Halson, and I'm the varsity girls basketball head coach. I wanted to first start by thanking my assistant coaches, Zara Lange and Mia Larrabee, for all their help this season. Our varsity girls had an exciting season with strong tournament play, capped off by a KPAC championship. This team really gelled together this season on and off the court, and they grew a lot as basketball players, and the development was fantastic. I look forward to working with this group. I really wanted to take a second to recognize our graduating players. So Lexi Everett, Tessa Priest, and Tiana Kubis, who have been with the program for 3 years, and we will really miss them. But I also look forward to working with the majority of the team again next year. Our MVP this season was a dominant presence on both ends of the court. She averaged 25 points per game, was an absolute demon on defense, and a leader on the court. So congratulations, Taylor Jasek.
There's an expression goes something about someone having a lot of spring in their step. I think they were talking about our award winner tonight. Even though this young man has already had considerable success in the long sprints, 200, 400, 800, the coaches and I feel that he's just scratching the surface of what he's able to achieve. His consistent work ethic, coupled with his readily apparent joy for running, promises many more good things to come. He continues to put the pieces together with each new race, and we've seen that progression from race to race to race. And he really works hard at integrating the things that we've talked about from race to race. When the whole puzzle comes together, he's going to be a force. Join me in congratulating our JV boys indoor track MVP, Quinn Fife. Our JV girls indoor track MVP. She started the season with a 5th place finish in the shot put, and it only got better from there. She's improved with every result after that. The rest of her season included podium performances at Cape-Pac and at the high school series championships. Despite being a throw specialist, she was always up for running a leg on a relay team if the team needed her. Dedicated, positive, competitive, winning combination. Her attention to technical aspects of throwing resulted in an improvement of over half a meter during her season. We wish her best of luck in this weekend's upcoming provincial track and field championships. Our indoor track MVP for JV girls is Fiona Bailey.
Okay, our indoor track varsity boy. This athlete is such an absolute pleasure to coach. He has a perma-grin on his face, no matter the workout. It could be the toughest thing in the world, and he will look at you and go, okay, I got it. He wants to learn all the details of every event he tries. He is such a positive and quiet leader. He leads by his example and his hard work. He is willing to try new events. If you say, hey, I think you'd be good at this, his answer is, yes, let's do that. So that led to him picking up some hurdles this year and excelling, along with his long jump and his sprints. It is truly an honor to give this award to Elliot Ferrer.
The varsity girls indoor track and field MVP. We thought we might have to bubble wrap this girl after her season-ending injury last year. No, not because of the toll running and jumping takes on her body, but because of phys ed class. But she survived gym, mostly, and picked up where she left off last spring, dominating. After another dominant season capping off a really remarkable 3 years. In her high school series championship, she competed in the long and high jump. And in the Cape-Pac championship, she competed in the 60-meter dash, long and high jump, where she, won them all, breaking a 20-something-year-old Cape-Pac record in the high jump in the process. In her 3 years in the indoor championship meets, she remains undefeated in the high jump and long jump. Our varsity female MVP is Nevaeh Marinowski.
All right. So this year, the MVP award for girls curling goes to Evelyn Jonathanson. Taking on the first-time position as skip for the last 2 years, Evie has shown incredible growth, proving herself to be an avid learner and a solid leader. She continues to develop and improve her ability to call the game, strategizing with the rest of the team. She kept things positive on the ice and off the ice. Never have we had such a positive team for the streak of losses. We had a very junior team, but they were amazing, and they improved every game, and they were so happy about it. It was awesome. She always had a smile on her face, and we look forward to having her on the team again next year. Congratulations, Evie, on being awarded the MVP player this year.
The boys curling MVP is awarded to one of our veteran players who came to us with plenty of curling experience, honing his skills at the Petersfield Curling Club alongside many family members. His dedication was evident. He attended practices and games regularly, working around conflicts as best as he could to ensure that he would be their first team. Undefeated throughout the 2023-24 regular season, the boys captured the K-Pac banner and headed to provincials. In the provincials, his positive attitude continued through his leadership and his play. His maturity was evident in response to adversity and unforeseen circumstances. We would like to congratulate Hudson Strand on being awarded this year's Boys Curling MVP and anticipate another great year to come. Congratulations.
Good morning. My name is Russ Payne. I'm coach of the female Royals hockey team. This season we battled through Division One. Ended up losing out in the first round of playoffs, but had a another great team building season. This year's MVP has shown dedication, leadership, and has been instrumental in resurrecting our women's hockey program over the past 2 seasons after a few years away. She showcased not only remarkable skill on the ice, but also embodied the true spirit of teamwork and perseverance off of it. She was the team's liaison between the management, coaching staff, and players, organizing, sending reminders, and making sure everyone was aware of what was going on time to events. Her team commitment has brought together a group of players, turned them into a determined team. It's my great honor to present the most valuable player of the Women's Royals Hockey Team Award to Kayla Skorik.
All right, I have the distinct pleasure of handing out 2 awards for the boys hockey team. We have the team MVP as well as the Mike Woloshin Award. We had a tremendous season this year, culminating finishing 4th in the league and winning the Piper Classic tournament. And that was in an OT thriller. Our MVP is going to an individual that would do whatever it took to win. He gave us the opportunity to win every game that he played for us and left it all out on the ice and in between the pipes. He was an all-star, the Piper Classic MVP, and the Winnipeg High School Hockey League Goal of the Year finalist. His consistent ability to make saves that he had no business making and spark his team when they needed him the most made it clear he is our MVP. Congratulations, Johnny and Demchuk. The Mike Woloshin Award is handed out annually in memory of Mike Woloshin, who tragically passed during the 2008-2007 season. Mike was that type of player everybody knows that everybody hated to play against but loved playing with. We hand this award out annually to the player on our team that is viewed as like the glue guy for our team, somebody all the teammates respect and is a leader on and off the ice. This individual was our captain and leader on the ice. He not only helped our team with his own play, but also worked with our younger players to show them how Royals hockey is played and was expected out of them. Unfortunately, he missed the first half of the season due to injury, but that didn't stop him from leading our team and ultimately being a league all-star. Our Mike Woloshin Award winner is Ryan Cromie.
Good morning. So for girls soccer, a short but sweet season. We had a whole crew of new girls, so it was really hard to choose. it was kind of tough getting it together at first, but we came together and I saw some really amazing play in the last couple of games that we had, which aside from that, it was like half our season was 2 games. Our player that we chose today was somebody who brought a positive attitude onto the pitch, led the girls in terms of encouragement, in terms of being a strong player, regardless of which position we put her in. We ended up putting her in as keeper, and although she wanted to be out on the field, she kept us in the game every single time and showed strength not just in skill and ability, but also in character and leadership. So congratulations, Allison Beatty.
Morning. I'm Gennaro Ramo, the boys soccer coach. I'd like to thank all the boys for a really good season this year. The boys were undefeated in regulation time, only 4 goals against, and obviously our biggest part of the team was our defensive play. And a big part of that was our MVP, Andrew Vandenbogert.
Okay, I was the coach of the badminton team this year again. This year we lacked a bit of experience, but we made up for that with a lot of passion for the game. We had more players come out to be a part of the badminton team than we have in a number of years, and that's a really good sign for our badminton program. So looking forward to them coming back in and adding new players in the future. Our JV badminton MVP, despite him missing several practices due to his participation in baseball, golf, hockey, and way more than that, he was still able to make it to the playoffs. Still was our top player all year long, and pushed his way all the way up to a hard-fought 4th place finish in KPAC, which is the best finish we've had in a while. Congratulations, Nolan Deere. Our varsity MVP built on her success in grade 10 to have a strong season again this year. She was a leader at practice and helpful to the whole team, helping with different drills and demonstrating and just being a leader on the court at all times. She had a really tough pool but played really well and so close to making the playoffs, and our top finisher in varsity. Congratulations on another great season, Kim Hadeen.
Morning. I don't see the 2 ringette coaches that were supposed to show up today, so I'm going off the cuff. I'm the manager of the ringette team. So the ringette, 1-week tournament, throw a group of girls together. We have a very strong ringette presence in this school. We won bronze medal so congratulations to the girls team. I rely heavily on this girl. She's a grade 12 student, fantastic ringette player. I tried to recruit her for the hockey team in grade 10. She told me to get lost, never playing hockey. And I've known her since she was about this high. Sydney Enbaum.
So before I start, I just want to thank all the grade 10s for coming out to have a good tournament this year. And thanks to Mr. Buffy and Mrs. Mike for letting us be on the other end of the bench. So for this year's MVP, he worked hard every shift, had to play big roles, and was a great leader on and off the ice. I would like to congratulate this year's rookie MVP, Nolan Deere.
Okay, for the JV girls outdoor track MVP. She's pretty new to the sport, but you wouldn't know it. Her work ethic is only overshadowed by her joyful personality and infectious laugh. So great to see all the work she's put into this year paying off now, as she'll be competing this weekend at Provincials as the K-Pac JV girls long jump champion, and will be anchoring our JV girls 4x100 meter relay team. She's just scratching the surface on her potential. Our JV girls outdoor track MVP is Selena Kermani. And now for the JV boys. Okay, athletes, you're all here because you're on a team and have played on at least one sport this year. I want you to think back to your first game or competition, either this year or grade 10 or maybe even junior high. Your first volleyball game, the first time you curled a rock. Probably left some room for improvement. Not many of us can say we excelled or were one of the very best in the province right off the bat. That's for you, Buffy. And triple jump is definitely an event that takes some learning, except for our JV male outdoor track MVP. Not only did he win K-Pac triple jump, but set a mark as a junior varsity that rivals the very best varsity athletes in the province. Oh, and he won long jump too, in basketball high tops. He is just getting started, literally, and we look forward to his second time competing this weekend at Provincials. Our JV boys MVP, Tyrell Lee Gerard.
Okay, our varsity outdoor track and field. We're going to start with varsity boys. So again, another athlete that is brand new to track and field. He started with us in indoor. Such a positive athlete and such a great influence on everybody around him, willing to try anything. Turned out he was a really quick learner and picked up several events easily. We kept saying, try this one, try that one. Okay. Oh, look, he can do that one too. So he ended up being our multi, which meant he had to do several events in one day, plus run on our relay teams. I don't think he bargained on competing in that many events when he started, but the grin on his face at the track says it was all worth it. It's my pleasure to present this award to Aiden Pacey. All right, our varsity girl. This young lady has truly left her mark in events. She excelled in all of her events, placing first in hurdles, high jump, and long jump at K-Pac, as well as anchoring our relay team. She is very dedicated and focused on improving her performances to the point where we sometimes have to look at her and go, stop thinking, just go do it. I wish her all the best at Provincials, where she has top rankings in all of her events this weekend. It is my pleasure to call on Nevaeh Marinowski.
Good morning. The first award that we're giving out for the boys rugby team is a Paul Amir Memorial Award. Paul died tragically in a work accident in the summertime, and his best friend Jason Vitt donated a trophy to the boys rugby program, which represented not only excellent playing ability, but a special chemistry between two players on the field. Right now, I'd like to call up Logan Henry and Jacob Daynard.
The rugby team had a tough year this year as we changed over a lot of players, but we found a few guys over the past couple of years that showed up and had very wide eyes when I actually showed this one player how he could use his size and his ability and athleticism to dominate the field. Was a sponge, exploiting forward stuff to him, still is a sponge now and will be for many years to come as he keeps growing as a player. Was a leader on the field, was probably the hardest on himself when things didn't go right, and kept trying to get better every time. Only missed the odd practice because of work schedule where he was about to quit, he told me one day. But your MVP for the boys program this year, Nick Borges.
All right, hi, me again. Okay, so I'm up here for golf, so we're going to start with girls golf. So this team placed second in K-Pac, and because the first place team couldn't go, we ended up going to provincials out at Pleasant Valley Golf Course near Killarney, Manitoba. Beautiful course. But the girls also competed in a number of tournaments throughout the spring and showed a ton of improvement. And golf is one of those things where, you know, there's good days and bad days, but good days outweighed the bad days, so it was great. This year's golf MVP is someone that is really striving to improve her game, and I really look forward to working with her. She's such a nice kid. I really look forward to working with her for the next 2 years. So our MVP is Skylar Whitford, who unfortunately could not be here. Okay, so on to boys golf. Okay, so boys golf, I want to take, actually overall for the golf team, I want to take a second to thank my assistant coach, Dave Michaleski, for all of his help this year. This team competed at K-Pac. Golf's a really quick turnaround, so like the second day of school, we went and competed at K-Pac back in September, and I believe we finished second there. And then this spring, we got to play in like a handful of other tournaments. And the highlight of that was actually we won low individual at one of the tournaments. So that was Rowan Guevara, who shot a 71 out at Steinbach Fly-In. And I want to take a second to recognize our graduating players this year, Ryan Cromie, Gavin Barry, and Tony Piner. They've been really consistent for the past 3 years and have really anchored the golf team. And so I wish them all the best in the future. And then this year's MVP has showed a lot of leadership over the past 3 years, but especially this year. And he has been super consistent in his play in every tournament that he's been in. So our boys golf MVP is Gavin Barry.
Hi, I'm Gina Kitely. I was the head coach for the girls field lacrosse team this year. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the 18 girls that made our first ever lacrosse team for the girls at the high school possible. Your energy and enthusiasm and your improvement throughout the season was nothing short of remarkable to watch, and it was a complete pleasure to get to coach all of you. I'm going to pass it on to Dana.
Hi. I'm Dana. I'm also one of the coaches of the female lacrosse team. Super honored and privileged to have had this first inaugural year. Want to thank Gina for all her hard work and the teacher volunteers as well. So this athlete that we're honoring today, I've had the privilege of coaching when she first started her lacrosse career. This athlete is dedicated to the game. She plays on multiple teams, at least 3 or 4 throughout the year. She's helped educate students, rally players, and her leadership also gained her the position of captain of her team. Her overall stats were 21 goals and 5 assists, and her skill and speed and determination makes her a fierce competitor. And if you look at her arm, she has the bruises to show for it. So please join me in honoring Delaney Kitely.
All right, now we have baseball. The baseball season is a short one, but very intense one, playing 11 games in a 3-week span. Our season culminated in a K-Pac Finals appearance at Blue Cross Field and a provincial wildcard appearance where we unfortunately came up just short of provincials. Our MVP this year has been a staple in the top of half of our lineup and behind home plate for the past 3 years. He's a leader on the field, and his desire to win influences his entire team. Defensively, he is a rock, which is huge out of the catcher position, and his approach at the plate was unmatched. Our baseball MVP is Gilbert O'Connor.
The next award is actually a recognition award, and every year we are lucky enough to have Mr. Schalk and Ms. Massey and the graphic arts department put together these beautiful banners for us. And eventually they usually get up in the gym, and we are really happy to give them away. And like I said, if you want one of these, put your name on a little sticky note at the end of the after we're done today, and give me a text number that I can contact you at. But the gentleman who did it took care of it all year for us, and his name was Declan Monkman. So if you know Declan, give him a pat on the back today. He's not here this morning, but I'll be giving this to him later on today. So how about a hand for Declan? Okay, now we're going to be going to some of the more major awards. We're going to be introducing an award that we haven't done before. And just before I do that, I want to recognize, I know I mentioned Mr. Long and the school board and whatever, but we've got some administrators here. We've got Ms. Coe in the back, Mr. Scarbin is over there. We got Mr. Nasmik Hayden right there. He's got his soccer jersey on right there. And Ms. Smith. They allow you guys, they really grease the wheels a lot of the time in letting you guys do what you do. So I think we need to recognize those folks. And those are the ones that, you know what, one of the things that I find hardest, I can often find a coach. I can often find a coach for your team, but I can't find a supervisor and I can't find a manager. So when those people, like, I don't even know what my life would be like without Ms. Rapko. Okay, you know, you need to really thank those people because those are the supporting pieces. So how about a big hand for that group? Mr. Nasmik even pitched in when we needed a manager for the soccer team. Did you get what I did there? Pitched in, soccer, pitch. Pretty good, Mr. Romo? Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm a dad. What am I supposed to do? Okay, here you go, Mrs. Gurney.
I live with those jokes every day. Okay, so our phys ed department decided to recognize our athletes who have put some really hard work into their school, because we know that that is a big ask a lot of the time, and it is not an easy thing to do to keep your marks up while being a competitive varsity athlete. So the scholar athlete, we based it on the requirements for the scholar athlete for grade 12s through MHSAA. So you need above an 85 average with no mark lower than 65 and to compete in at least 2 sports. So when you hear your name, we would like you to stand up and remain standing until we get through the list. and then take a look around, and we'll have a nice round of applause to recognize everybody's achievements. At the end, we have beautiful certificates at the back near where Ms. Mike is, and you guys can go find yours and pick them up. Okay, so please stand when you hear your name. Serena Reeb, Selena Kermani, Jersey Schlosser, Bailey McQuarrie, John Hayden Petruka, Owen Giesbrick, Ryan Merowich, Lucas Proyne, Lucas Strike, Easton Woloski, Jacob Denard, Zoe Purvis, Maddie Frater, Nevaeh Marinowski, Drake Vermeulen, Kelsey Erickson, Oliver Hamill, Taylor Majasic, Ariana Kodalchuk, Jamie Edmonds, Lena Osterman, Garrett Gerbic, Sydney Osterman, Ryan Cromie, Justin Cabaneros, Paige Bernier, Wes Hebert, Julia Godowich, Ashley Godowich, Tanner Wahara, Noah Meinecker, Elliot Ferreira, Addison Enns Demchuk, Paige Whiteside, Allison Beatty, Vance Giesbrick, Nolan Deere, Hannah Nemi, Kyle Cromie, Ethan Lukanchuk, Parker Carrolls, Carly Catelier, Peyton Bragg, Quinn Fife, Dom Denard, Nathan Remus Lamb, Kyle Zorniak, Aiden Pacey, Lorena Reyes, Colby Kurbis, Sarah Zorniak, Delaney Kitely, Alexis Kwiatkowski, Fiona Bailey, Liberty A. May, Kenny DeCoro, Ashton Ramo, Matthew Michaleski, Jameson Cyrene, Max Jaley, Emma Carpenter, and Christian Cominelli. A large round of applause for all our student athletes.
Our next award is the Success in the National Level. So these are going to athletes who have competed on a national level or Western Canada Games level and have finished either gold, silver, or bronze. So top three at a national event. Our first one goes to Liberty MA, who won bronze at the National Aboriginal Hockey Championship. Congratulations. And our second winner at this, for success at the national level goes to Owen Giesbrecht, who won gold at the North American Indigenous Games.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, our next award is the Jim Schreier Leadership Award. So this program is obviously for a student who has really good leadership skills and is sort of that person that embodies Royals athletics and goes kind of out of the way to promote and make it work. So to say this recipient is resilient and can overcome obstacles is definitely an understatement. Her determination to be part of Royals athletics is undeniable, having played most sports during her 3 years here. When one door closed, she opened another one, battled sidelining injuries, and never gave up. She is such a team person that she will shamelessly recruit others to join teams, and then she'll be their biggest cheerleader and supporter. She was the first kid to the track, even on our coldest and wettest meets, and the last one to leave. Promo videos needed, tents built, on it. If you needed help with anything, she was the first to volunteer. She could be seen painting faces and leading the cheer section, all while competing herself. We will truly miss her enthusiasm and determination. It is my great honor to present this to Hannah Nemi.
Okay, we are moving on to our last 4 awards of the morning, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out, you've seen the names on the screens, but I'm going to ask that all of the nominees stand up for each of the categories, and then we're going to go ahead with the awards. So why don't we just do all the nominees right now? The JV girls nominees, would you please stand when you hear your name? Delaney Kitely, Carolyn Roth, Ellie Tolpa, Selena Kermani, Danelle Robson, Fiona Bailey, and Sarah Zorniak. Okay, stand up, and a little round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Our varsity girls nominees, Hannah Nemi, Carly Catelier, Sydney Osterman, Kelly Katowicz, Nevaeh Marinowski, Taylor Jasek, and Maddie Frater. Thank you, ladies. Our JV boys, Max Ajala, Nolan Deere, Colby Kurbis, Will Simpson, Quinn Fife, Grayson Irvine, and Asher Stepaniak, sorry. Thanks, gents. And our varsity boys, Johnny Enns Demchuk, Max Yaley, Ryan Cromie, Parker Carrolls, Ryan Merowich, Elliot Ferrara, Ashton Ramo, Justin Cabaneros, Tanner Wahira, Jacob Denard, Reese Foreman, and Easton Woloski. Thanks, gents. And now let's go with our JV girls, Athlete of the Year.
Thank you, Scott. I'd just like to raise the level of the perspective on this just a little bit, right? This Athlete of the Year thing has been around a long time, and it's a very significant award, and I just trying to bring some perspective to it. 40 years ago, I actually stood in this very cafeteria and was awarded the Varsity Boys Athlete of the Year. It's a long time. That's been going on every year since then. 6 years ago, I was able to stand here and watch my daughter win one. It's the one I get to give out today, the Junior Varsity Award. It's a very significant award. It's been there a long time. Not everybody's going to win it. It's about the process. When you look at the process of what we do here as an athletic program, just think about it for a minute. There's 1,000 people in this school. A significant number of them will step up and actually go out for a team and make a team. And hopefully they impress their coach and there's somebody that would be noteworthy to be an Athlete of the Year. Likely to be an Athlete of the Year, you're going to have to impress more than one coach. And that's not always the same. You can be coach's favorite in one sport, but do your characteristics carry over to another sport, to another sport, to another sport? Even if you make a couple of teams, you now have to step up that those coaches want to recognize you, and you're one of these people just stood up a second ago, 25, 30, 40, and then somebody's going to be recognized. Right? It's a process. Everyone along that continuity of that should feel very proud. You're part of a very successful program here with Lord Selkirk and the Royals. But someone is going to be recognized, and hopefully it's as memorable to you as it has been for me and will continue to be. So, moving on to that one, the Junior Varsity Girls, this person definitely checks all those boxes. She was a member of the golf team with a coach that recognized her and felt she was a very deserving candidate. Was a member of the Junior Varsity Girls basketball team, also with a coach who would recognize her and feel her to be a deserving candidate. She was a member of the field lacrosse team, and also the hockey goalie, as well as playing out for the hockey team. That takes a lot of stuff. That takes a lot of stuff. It's very commendable, and I'd like to present the Junior Varsity Athlete of the Year to Delaney Kitely.
Building on what Mr. Gabranson was saying there, our JV Boys Athlete of the Year is a multi-sport athlete, and he won multiple team MVPs and competed at all of his sports at a very high level. These accomplishments for his MVPs speak for themselves. But what excites me most about this individual, though, is his love of practicing, his consistent desire to improve, and his non-stop work ethic. I'm looking forward to what he does the next 2 years on the court, on the ice, and in the field. Congratulations to our JV Boys Athlete of the Year, Nolan Deere.
So I figured that the best way to talk about our Varsity Girls Female Athlete of the Year was to paint a picture of this athlete through the words of her coaches. So I had conversations with 3 of her coaches over the last couple of days, and these are the kinds of things I heard. A quality person, talented and skilled, genuine and selfless, whatever the team needs, underrated, a deep desire to learn, the kindest and most polite, leadership and character, quietly perseveres, humble, consistent, and dependable, and the best of the best. Now, if you're thinking, but how good is she on the field, on the court? Here's a couple of things you should know. No one in her position in the province of Manitoba got more grad all-star votes than she did in her position. Next year, she's continuing her volleyball career south of the border, where she's accepted a scholarship to Dickinson State University. Mrs. Gertie said, "Don't cry." Sorry. Please join me in congratulating the Varsity Girls Female Athlete of the Year, again in her coach's words, Steady Eddie, Maddie Frater.
It's okay, he always does that. All right, on to our Male Athlete of the Year for the varsity boys. This year's Male Athlete of the Year competed in cross country, hockey, indoor and outdoor track. His coaches describe him as hardworking, dependable, and talented. His desire to win and get better helped the hockey team to be successful. He came to the rink every day with a positive attitude and willingness to work. Both on the track and in hockey, he was willing to do whatever it took to help his team win. He would run any leg of a relay that you asked him to. He just wanted to see that group win. At Capeck Indoor, he was nursing an injury, so he asked, "What event do you need me to do today? What will get the team the most points?" It wasn't about personal glory that day. He was willing to do whatever we needed of him. But make no mistake, he likes to win. It is my pleasure to present Parker Carrolls.
Okay, sorry. No more crying. All right. Thank you for coming. This was, I think this might have been a record. It was just under an hour. That's pretty good. Hopefully you got a great meal and you saw some great entertainment. You're free to stick around, and if you want to grab you see an article on the wall that's yours, that's great. Don't forget about the banners. That photo backstop is staying up. So if you want some photos, get some shots with your teammates, do that. And congratulations, and we'll see you next year. All of our scholar athletes, come on back and grab your certificates. Don't forget your certificates at the back, okay?